Thanks, Trevor. Thank you. I'm just going to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, that we're in the grip of a zombie apocalypse. A zombie apocalypse that over the next 10, 15 years is going to devour 1 in 3 jobs. 1 in 3 jobs. I'm going to reveal to you what those jobs are, which I appreciate could be quite traumatic to 1 in 3 of you. Don't worry, I've got a team of counselors outside waiting for you. But I'm going to reveal to you these zombie jobs, I'm calling them, zombie jobs, jobs which are being replaced by technology as we speak, and I'm going to then look at what we can do about it. My argument is that we are accidentally preparing young people for the wrong century. We're preparing them for the 20th century. The reality is, though, children born today in the UK have a 50-50 chance of living to be 105. 50-50 chance. If you were in Liverpool in 1900, the average age of death for a man was 47. Do we have any men who are over 47 here today? Just want to put your hands up? There's a comfort break coming, gentlemen. Enjoy every day, gentlemen. It could be your last. For women, it was 50. It was 50, so in a couple of generations, the world has changed dramatically. But I'm going to argue that we're incredibly relaxed about this. We're relaxed, we're complacent. In fact, we're collaborating in this because we don't know what the zombies look like. We think zombies look like this. That's what we think, but they don't. They look like this. Okay, here's a hot tip. Never take a photograph of anything in an airport. Okay? I missed a flight on this basis. I was in security for a long time. So they look like this, or they look like this. The most populated job for men in the United States is a driver. Already we have automated cars all around. You might think, well, that doesn't affect me. But look at this. This is a pharmacy. This is a pharmacy that's been invented by Harvard University. It can dispense drugs more accurately than any pharmacist. Or maybe they're in our homes. Universities in America now give out these so students can make friends. They can make friends with zombies. In fact, this technology is already changing how children are growing up. Children are going to school talking to their teachers in the same way that their parents talk to Alexa. So their parents shout, "Alexa, off!" And the kids go to school and talk to the children like that. So we have to be careful. They're in our hospitals already. This is Alder Hey Hospital. This is a robot that takes out the rubbish. It drives around. Of course, they're also in hotels. Hey, just think about this. You've got a robotic receptionist. They're always there. They have no comfort breaks. They can speak any language. They're always cheerful. In fact, some hospitals or some hotels have realized if you've got a zombie receptionist, they don't have to look humanoid. There's one hotel had their receptionist, this robot receptionist, look like a velociraptor. Now just imagine, and that would be funny at first, wouldn't it? But just imagine, it's late at night, you've had 2 or 3 sherries, you've lost your keys, so you go to reception, you ding the bell, and from behind the counter, well, there'll be 2, won't there? There'll be one there and there'll be one over here as well. Look at it. So what happens? What happens if you get too friendly with the zombie? What happens if you get too close? Look at this. Look at that wonderful can of WD-40. The aphrodisiacal qualities. The aphrodisiacal qualities of WD-40. Is it a sin? Is it a sin if you get too close to one of these zombies? Is it a sin? What does the church say about this? Well, let's ask them, because the church is now producing a robotic priest that you can confess your sins to, so you never have to worry about this. But the impact of this is extraordinary. So I'm constantly talking to students about this. Around 35% of jobs are at high risk of computerization. Now, this has always happened. The Northwest is the home of the Industrial Revolution. But until now, the jobs that have been phased out by technology were blue-collar jobs, manual jobs, jobs that involve dropping things on your foot. Today, though, the zombies are coming after graduate-level jobs, white-collar jobs. So why aren't we complaining? Why aren't we worrying? Why aren't we panicking? It's because you and I, ladies and gentlemen, are prone to think it won't affect me. It's other people. I'm safe. In fact, if you look at the research, 90% of people, of employees, think their jobs will be unaffected by automation. However, if you ask those people's bosses, guess what? They think, oh yeah, they're on the list. They're going. As soon as they can get a zombie, they're going. So how do you become a zombie hunter? How do you become a zombie hunter? 10 years ago, I was invited to give a talk to an American investment bank in Canary Wharf, one of the richest investment banks in the world. They said, come along to Canary Wharf on the 40th floor of a skyscraper and tell our management team what we have to do to engage with young graduates. We're struggling with graduates. They don't turn up to work on time. And we can't engage with them as we used to do with the previous generations. And they said, it could be the money. And I said, well, how much do you start them on? And they said, we start them on about 75,000. And I gasped like you. And they said, yeah, we know it's not much, but they'll catch up. They'll catch up with everyone fairly quickly. And they said to me, come and find out what the problem is and how we can gear our bank for the future. And we'll pay you whatever it takes. And I heard, ka-ching. Unfortunately, the name of the company, Lehman Brothers. Within 2 weeks, they'd gone bust, along with my travel expenses. I'm a creditor of Lehman Brothers. And the world had changed. But of course, months before Lehman Brothers screwed up the world economy, the world was changing anyway because we had a huge technological leap forward in 2007 when a whole series of household names appeared on the scene. And they changed the world forever. 200 million people have now slept in other people's beds because of Airbnb. The world has changed forever, and we didn't see it coming. We never saw this coming. Even Lehman Brothers never saw this coming. And I think we're in exactly the same position. The best rule I've ever found about how we get things wrong, we call Amara's rule, after Roy Amara, who's a great futurologist. We tend to overestimate the effect of technology in the short run and underestimate the effect in the long run. So you might remember when mobile phones first appeared. Do you remember that? Mobile phones? Does anyone say mobile phone? Is that your mobile phone? Students say to me, why do old people stay a mobile phone? Was there a time in history when phones weren't mobile? And I say, yes, my childhood. And I tell them this tragic Dickensian story about growing up when we had one phone in the hall. And they're looking at me like, oh, you're making this up, oh my God, there's no one had. And I don't know did anyone else grow up in poverty like me? We had one phone in the hall, and it was on a telephone table. Do you remember telephone tables? There's a whole industry that's vanished. And no one has noticed the decline. My mother used to polish this thing. So I used to say we had one phone call. We had one phone in the house. And one of our students said to me, oh my God, that must have been like appalling. And I said, why? And she said, if you only had one phone, who got to choose the ringtone? That's what she said. And I said, E.T. That was it. There was no choice. So I'm a digital immigrant. I had to teach myself the language of computers. And you can tell if you're a digital immigrant because if you get a long email, your brain will say, I've got to print this out before I read it. I can't read this. I can't read it. It's illegible. It's like hieroglyphics. I've got to print this out. But of course, for our students, they are digital natives. If the technology has been around before you're born, it's not technology. It's just stuff. Okay? It's just stuff. And the problem is digital immigrants are trying to make decisions on the basis of digital natives, and we're getting it wrong. So we thought this would be the future of the mobile phone. Smart people doing smart jobs with smart technology in smart cities. What we didn't see was the impact it was having on us. Suddenly, we're all together and we're all alone. People are looking at life through screens. I'm under pressure from international consulates to teach students how to cross the road because they walk out. Have you seen this? They walk out into dual carriageways with their phones, with headphones in. And we're under pressure to teach people to cross the roads. Here's a conference I spoke at recently. This was called the networking session. The networking session. People are paid to come to this. And of course, what's fascinating is the impact this is having on children. So here's my nephew, Max, playing with my brother-in-law's iPad. There was a passcode on this, but he's hacked into it. We don't know how he's done that. We don't know what he's doing. He could be moving currencies around the world. We don't know. We don't know. He could be destabilizing economies. We don't know, because he can't speak. But who needs to speak? Who needs to speak when you play with more technology than existed on the space shuttle? In fact, one iPad could run the guidance system of 120 million Apollo rockets. Put that in context. How does that work? And he's playing with that. He's also multitasking. Look carefully. He's eating a chicken nugget while he's playing with that. That's the advancement. So what do we know about this? Technology is neither good nor bad, but neither is it neutral. It changes the world in ways that we never, ever saw before. So, what are the top 10 zombie jobs? What are the top 10 zombie jobs? Now, as I said, you might have one of these jobs. You might just be about to start one of these jobs tomorrow, in which case I'm really sorry. But here they are, quickly. Jobs most at risk of automation. Have a look at these. Number one. Yeah, everyone's taking a picture quickly of this. They're saying to me, can you just move out of the way, please? Now look at these. These were graduate level jobs, many of these. These were jobs that parents would tell their children to aspire to. This is a job you want to go into because it will be safe, it will be secure. There is no more security. Job security has vanished thanks to Lehman Brothers and co. It's all changed forever. But it's not just these jobs. There are other jobs as well. The great futurologist Geoffrey Hinton talked about radiology. And he said, if you're a radiologist, you're like Wile E. Coyote. Students say to me, who was Wile E. Coyote? Is that an academic? Is that a professor I should be reading? And I say, no, it was a cartoon. It was a cartoon. If you remember Wile E. Coyote, there was always a moment when he would run off a cliff, wouldn't he? Then he would have this moment of self-awareness when he would look into the camera. A bit like this. What I would say to you is get used to this expression. You're going to see a lot more of this expression. So let me finish off quickly. How do you become zombie-proof? How can you become zombie-proof? Here's what not to do. First thing is, don't do this. We tried this 200 years ago in this country. They were called the Luddites. It didn't work. They were sent away to Australia. That was a punishment. Now it would be a lifestyle choice. They were sent away. So what do we need to do? We need to somehow work with this technology. Here's our students with a robot that we hired to give them a welcome talk in Freshers Week. We also need to recognize that as jobs go, new jobs come on the scene. A whole series of new jobs are being created all the time. In fact, many of these jobs are here now. At the University of Liverpool, we have human body designers working with us all the time. This is here now. So the world of work is changing rapidly. But if you're thinking about making a career move, there are 3 questions that you need to ask yourself fairly quickly. Number 1, does the job require interacting with people and using social intelligence? If the answer is yes, then you're okay for now. Number 2, does it involve creativity and coming up with clever solutions? Again, if the answer is yes, you're okay for now. And number 3, does it require working in an unpredictable environment? If yes, you're okay for now. So there are things we can do about this, but we have to recognize that we can't use the old mental models that worked in the 19th and 20th century to shape the future of work from now on. I wanted to finish with one final point, because my question to me, as someone who works in a university, is, well, what about us? What about us? What's the story for us? What do we have to do? What's the future for us? I saw this picture recently. This is Johnny Depp at a movie premiere, and if you look carefully, you can see all the millennials capturing Johnny Depp on their handheld devices. If they've not got a picture of him, it's not real. The camera then moved to the rest of the crowd waiting to see him. And there was this picture that I saw. I love this, because if you look towards the right, you've got the millennials again trying to capture this person, this film star on their phones. And then you've got this lady there with a circle around her. She's the only one who's not got any technology in her hands. She's just watching. She's in the moment. She's happy, just watching. But I would draw your attention to the person behind her, the man in the middle. You can see he's forgotten his reading glasses. You can see he's got a new mobile phone. He's looking at it, he's saying, I can't see this. I don't even know if it is a phone. It could be a TV remote. I can't get that into camera mode. Can you work that? He's taken hundreds of photographs of the floor. He's going to go home with concrete photos. He's missing the moment entirely. And I think that's many of us. We're missing the moment. And all that matters when you think about it is being together. All that matters is the importance of being as one. Enjoying the moment, being together, is ultimately the future of the world. And we should value our human-naturedness of being together. Today's been a fabulous day. It's all because we've all been tuned in. No one's had their phones in their hands, not that I've noticed. And we've all been in the moment. So, if we're thinking about planning the future for younger generations, maybe we need to look back at the older generations. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.